Hi, I'm Donna Smith of Smith Butterworth Music, and I hope that you will like us at Smith Butterworth Music on YouTube. What do you expect when you put your child into piano lessons? Well, there's going to be some time involved. Usually lessons are about 30 minutes a week. And for more advanced students, sometimes an hour a week. But if they're elementary age through high school, it's still usually 30 minutes. That's the going time for most teachers. And the cost can vary. It depends on the city that you're in. If you're in a bigger city, it will probably cost more for lessons. If you're in a smaller town, it may not. It just depends. If you want cheaper lessons, you could ask a college student perhaps to practice on your child if they hadn't had a chance to teach lessons yet. Sometimes even a high school student might be interested in trying it for a little while. There's pros and cons with that, of course, but that's what to expect. And I can't really give you any numbers because it would change so much depending on what's going on and the going rate. You'll just have to ask around and see what different teachers are charging, and that's all right to do. It's easy enough to find online. Also, how are students supposed to practice? Well, they'll need to practice every day. Even if it's a young student, you are the one who will be responsible for telling them, hey, you need to have a practice. And it's okay if it's only 10 minutes for a 7-year-old. The most important thing is to have as many practices as possible. If you don't practice until it's almost time for the lesson again, they will have completely forgotten everything the teacher told them, and it will be really difficult for them to even know what to do, and it will be frustrating. The best thing to do, and it's not very easy, is as soon as they get home from their lessons, just take a few minutes, say, show me what you learned today, and they will tell you what their teacher said, and they can play a little bit for you. Don't let them just put it down and forget it for 2 days. This is real important. It will help them remember what's been said to them and what they're supposed to do if they get a chance to show it to you the very day that they have their lesson. If you can do that, you'll see that they'll be more excited about piano in the future. Also, there may or may not be recitals available for your student. It depends on the teacher, or if you're taking at a studio. Definitely take advantage of the recitals if you can. I know that students can be nervous. Try not to make a big deal of it. Just tell them, oh, it's just really good practice for you to try. And always encourage students, even if they get up there and mess up. I tell my students, I mess up too in front of people. Still, I'm performing every week. I perform in the community. So make sure that it's just not a scary and terrible one-time thing. Normalcy goes a long way when you're teaching students music. This is just a part of the way it is. Sometimes you have a good day, sometimes you have a day that's not as good as the other one. It's okay. You can also factor in teacher personality. Not all personalities mesh together. I have sent students to other teachers, and other teachers have sent students to me because of just personality issues. And most students I do well with, but there's sometimes might be someone who would just be so great for that student, and I don't have a problem recommending them to them. So don't get your feelings hurt if your teacher passes you on to someone else. You might have a much better experience with the next teacher, and you can learn from every teacher that you have. Good communication is important. I often will text my students the night before to confirm the lesson, just to make sure. You don't want to ever not show up. One-on-one lessons are really difficult to schedule, especially these days. Always bring all your books to your lesson, unless Christmas is over and your teacher says you don't have to bring that book anymore. We sometimes study out of sets of groups of 3 books, and we don't always have a song in each of those books. We might be in another one, but when we come back, we might be ready to take one out of the technique book as opposed to the lesson book or the theory book. Bring the entire set every time, unless the teacher tells you specifically, don't bring those books. New students tend to miss that, and they say, well, we didn't have one in that book, so we didn't bring it. And of course, always bring your books. If you show up to lessons without any material, as a teacher, that's very frustrating for me, because then I have to see, oh, do I have enough things in my bag for them to do? It also puts the student behind on songs that we needed to be working on. So do your best to make sure that the books are either in the car that morning if you're coming straight from school. Do your best, whatever prompts you need to put out to get into a good habit of bringing your books. Since it is only once a week, try to make it an important day. Say, okay, it's piano day. We need to do all the things we need to do for piano. And you should be organized most of the time. All right, well, that's all I wanted to talk about, was what to expect if you start piano lessons. And I hope that helps. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and like us here at Smith Butterworth Music. Thank you.